I keep saying that sport's littered with banana skins. It's about the professionalism of the fighter to make sure that doesn't happen. In Savannah Marshall, she's very professional. She doesn't, this kind of stuff, this hullabaloo, is the last thing that gets to her. So if anybody's going to slip up, it's not going to be her. She knows she has dreams to accomplish here. There's gold at the end of the rainbow for her, but she knows to concentrate on Hermans for tomorrow night. She's just done a check weigh-in, looks in excellent condition. I know where Hermans is. I've not seen her around so far. I'm looking forward to what version of Savannah we get tomorrow. She can punch. She's a slick boxer, so I just want to see how she deals with the outside interference.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because over the last few fights or so, we've seen Savannah just mature and grow, haven't we? Even walking around now, I mean, there's quite the gathering here today at the Metro Centre, isn't it? She's taking it all in her stride, and rather than sort of getting nervous about it, she's embracing it and enjoying it. Could that be the difference now?
The difference is, she was so worried about what people thought about her initially, she probably couldn't perform to the best of her ability, even though she kept winning. Now she's over that, to say, well, I actually don't care what you think about me. I like fighting, I can fight, I just want to get out and fight. So she's in a unique position where this doesn't affect her anymore.
Isn't that what you felt as a fighter? Like the difference between being nervous, excitement, and kind of differentiating between those?
Makes all the difference, and that's why I can relate to her. I can relate to where she's at. And even when she walks in here and she'll say hello to people, she'll be polite, she'll be courteous, she'll give them a nod, then boom, back to business again. She's not swept away with any of this. And to say she's doing this more or less on home turf, this would be a big deal for everybody. She just thinks, I've got to do my job, because if I don't, these same people that are cheering me and supporting me will be my same critics, and I'm going to walk the streets of this area.
Do you think that this potentially is Savannah's toughest test to date? I mean, Femke has been in with Clarissa Shields. She's been the distance with Clarissa Shields. That went to points, Clarissa winning it. Clarissa's going to be here on Saturday night. Of course, we know all the talk is about that potential super fight between Clarissa and Savannah. Could this be her toughest test though today?
So, current European champion, former, for a short sprint, super middleweight champion, world super middleweight champion. So she knows Femke has been there before. So now she has to establish, say, you know what, I've got to give her the respect that's due. So yes, it can be a tough fight on paper. It should be. I have a funny feeling that Savannah is one of those few fighters that is head and shoulders above most fighters around her. And so that match, that fight that we say, that's the challenge. We would say it's Clarissa. Maybe she'll might make easy work of Clarissa as well. But as far as she's concerned, she's head and shoulders everybody, and she'll show it. She'll not be content to sit back and think, right, I'm a winner, so I don't have to work for it.
In terms of the women's code, do you think that Savannah is perhaps the biggest puncher out there?
Without a doubt. 11 fights, 11 wins, 9 knockouts. You know, and you look at her, she's a unit. She's a proper unit. She's slick.
Strong. She's strong.
Strong. I've seen her working with Peter Fury, and what he's refined in her, what he gets from her, he gets the respect, he gets the retention, and he's getting the best out of her. There's an utter respect for her, because even when he's not here, she'll sing this guy's praises. You know, so Peter Fury knows exactly how to get the best out of her. And I know for a fact when he first took her on board, he was a bit shouldn't. Now, her and Hughie Fury are his golden gooses. They're the ones that he loves.
It's an interesting dynamic between those two, because neither Peter nor Savannah are particularly loud characters, are they? They're kind of very respectful of one another, but it is a relationship, like you say. It's one that seems to have clicked and seems to have really worked. It's a very special bond. How important is that between fighter and trainer?
Bond's most important, because when you're in a fight, when times are hard, you need to know the person you speak to, you trust, you believe in, you have that respect for. The person that's speaking to you needs to know that you can implement everything you've worked on. And I think I personally think it's a better relationship with Peter and Savannah than it is between Peter and Hughie. And he's had Hewitt all the way through. You just see how it clicks.
Why is that?
Because I think Savannah, she's been the one on the outside in. She's the one that steps in to that unit of him and Huey. So now she's like, I want to be in there. I want to learn. I want to listen. And she'll be hanging on his every word. Whereas for Huey Fury's thinking, right, I'm born with this. This is a natural thing. He's always been there by my side. It's a great combination. The three of them, I rate what they've got. You see Hugh and Savannah together like brother and sister, and they work very hard. They compete when they're training, when they're fighting, doing the runs and everything. Excellent relationship.
I said at the top about this potentially, how much of a potential banana skin this fight is for Savannah, because like I say, so much of the talk is about the super fight with Claressa Shields. We've kind of been here before a little bit. I'm just talking about AJ in New York, when all the talk was about Wilder, eye off the ball a little bit, and look what happened. She cannot afford to take her eye off the ball.
And she's not the kind of fighter. She's not the kind of fighter. She learns from everything that's happening around her. I'd be very, very surprised if she lost Saturday night. And if she lost, you know, I'd be very surprised if she lost because she took her eye off the ball. That is not the Savannah I know. 8 years ago, Adam, myself, and Spencer Oliver came up here to see Savannah, and she was so shy. She didn't want to talk to anybody, and it was just like you just thought you wanted to shake her and say, "Come on, you're in there somewhere." Now she's here, and she's a completely different animal. There's not going to be any mistakes from Savannah Marshall, none at all.
You've known her a long time, like you just said, how much she's grown, like not just in the ring but outside the ring as well.
From being a Sky Scholar, which was an amazing opportunity for any young athlete coming through. And it's a great badge of honour as well, and she wore it well. Then turning professional, she knew then that all eyes would be on her. Whatever she did, good or bad, people would comment, people would critique. So she knew that. So that's kind of extra pressure. But for Sky and for Savannah, you know, it's just like watching your child grow up. So for Savannah, you bless her successes.
You almost sound like you're a proud dad there, Johnny, like standing on the sidelines watching on. Like I said, we are expecting Claressa Shields to be ringside with us on Saturday night. I mean, the last time we saw the two together was in Cardiff, wasn't it? It was after Claressa Shields' fight. And there was a little bit of back and forth, wasn't there? That it got feisty, and I think we were all a bit surprised at how Savannah handled that, because I certainly wasn't expecting that to come out of Savannah.
Well, it's about characters. Now, Claressa is loud, she's brash, she's in your face, she'll say what's in her heart, and so some fighters would wither away and not want that. Savannah stepped up to the plate and said, "Whoa, wait on a minute. If we're going to play that game, you know, you can out-talk me, you might not be able to out-shout me, but I'll definitely out-fire you." So she's happy to stand and say, "No, don't be silly." And even in the press conference yesterday, and Claressa was mentioned many, many times, again she said, "Remember, she's the one that's been creeping around me for the last 5 years. It's not about her." So just because she's not loud in your face, bragging and boasting, doesn't mean she doesn't believe in herself. Because that young lady we saw last time, I thought, she's arrived. She's arrived. She went to ringside and she gave as good as she got. And I do think the war of words...
It was real, I think, wasn't it?
It was real. I do think the war of words, Claressa would probably win that, because I think Claressa will go over the line. You know, whereas Savannah will take it so far. But that's all real. There's no fake there. She'll say exactly what she believes in, and not just for the headlines, not just for the cameras.
How do you think Savannah will feel, though, Claressa being ringside watching on Saturday night? Do you think that will bother her at all?
Not at all. She's another fan. After the fight, then she'll address Claressa.
But we do know that Femke has been the distance with Claressa Shields. Will Savannah, I think the question is, will Savannah want to be sending a message out to Claressa? Will she want to do it quicker, faster, stronger?
No, I think she'll want to send a message out to the fans. She wants to prove it to herself. Claressa is the last thing on her mind.
Well, we're getting told to wrap it up now because the weigh-in is just about to get underway. So let's hand you over to Buddy Johnson for all the introductions.
Welcome everybody to the Metro Center in Newcastle for the public weigh-ins of Boxers Fight Night. We have an incredible evening of world-class boxing at the Utilita Arena with Savannah Marshall, your defending WBO middleweight champion of the world, against her challenger, the former WBO super middleweight champion, Femke Hermans. This fantastic main event is supported by a spectacular undercard. And Boxer is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, with supervisors Miles Templeton and Andrew Venn in attendance right here at the public weigh-ins. And on behalf of Boxer's CEO Ben Shalom, our team, our broadcast partners at Sky Sports, Wasserman Boxing, our sponsors Bet365, Village Hotels, Wild Hydrate, and Version 2, we want to bid you guys a warm welcome and thank you for being with us. We begin now, first, here at the public weigh-ins in the welterweight division. First, to make his way to the scales, please welcome Carl Turney.
Feel it coming in the air, hear the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill.
I'm ready.
It's a dangerous love affair.
attorney. Fights out above the reaches, steps to the scales.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight. Who's gonna run this town tonight? We gonna run this town.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge of Allegiance, weighing officially at 11 stone 2 pounds. All black everything, and our girls are blackbirds. And now let's introduce his opponent, Michael Likalu.
So Michael Likalu versus Carl Turney on Saturday night. Let's be fair, neither have won a fight yet, Johnny. What are we making of this one?
No, I think that it's about the story of Likalu more than anything else. He just wants to have the opportunity to try and build a professional career here, and to do this alone. This to him is probably his mini world title fight. So you know what? I want to establish myself here in the UK, get some fights going on. Weighed in, comfortable, big smile on his face.
We know Likalu as well spars Savannah Marshall, so he knows our main event fighter extremely well, and it's like Peter Fury is ready. It's taking him under his wing a bit.
Yeah, and that's it. So I'm quite sure Peter Fury, will it be just an act of kindness, or will it be a fight that he thinks, you know what, I can do something with this young fighter? He's had 2 fights, no wins. But you know what? I lost my first 3, so.
And they're both on a level playing field, really.
So don't let that judge you. Turney, he's had 25 fights, no wins. So Likalu's 24, Turney's 35. So now he's just got a chance to get in there, get in the mix. Peter said, look, I'm going to give you an opportunity, make the most of it.
And we move now to the heavyweight division. First to make his way to the scales, please welcome Matt Metzes.
So 4 rounds at heavyweight between Matty Harris and Matt Metzes. Matty, we know, was signed with Wasserman last summer when he turned pro. I'm looking forward to this one, Johnny, because apparently Matty's been described as the best kept secret in heavyweight boxing.
Well, if that's the case, then let the secret be shown Saturday night. Metzes gets in 16 stone 8 pounds. He's had 4 fights, no wins, no losses. He's done 16 rounds. His debut was in October 21st. Harris has had 1 fight, one win. Wasn't by a knockout.
His opponent, please welcome Matty Harris.
He certainly looks the part, Matty Harris. He's 22 years old, 6'7". He's a tall man.
I feel like a dwarf next to this young man, and he's so nice, so polite, so very matter of fact. From Leamington Spa.
18 stone and 8 pounds.
Looks confident on the scales as well.
And actually, he's actually not a bad 17 stone 8 pounds. Not much flab around him. Tall, athletic.
He made use of lockdown well as well. He sparred many of the top heavyweights there. What are you looking to see from him tomorrow night, do you think?
He's like a baby, doesn't he?
He is only 22, Johnny.
He's a baby to me there. I'm expecting to use his height, his reach, his movement. I want to see what kind of fighter he is. Is he a boxer? Is he a punch boxer? We don't know. I want to see, we want to be able to try and shape him as a fighter coming through for the future. And, if there's an investment in this young man, they think he can do something special.
Metzes hasn't won a fight in his last 4 fights, or his only 4 fights. Really shouldn't cause him any issues tomorrow night, but you never know.
Yeah. Let's be honest, he shouldn't do, but we can't take things for granted.
Again in the heavyweight division, please welcome to the scales, Phil Williams.
So staying with the heavyweights in this one again, 4 rounds at heavyweight between Jose Stewart and Phil Williams. 2 things we know that Jose's known for is size and sparring AJ back in 2020.
Phil Williams is 36 years old, 39 fights, 4 wins. He's not a winner, but he's in here to test against in his second professional fight.
fight out of Estonia.
But in his opponent, I want to see what his opponent Stewart gets on the scales. Like, he's trying to tell me he's 24 stone. I reckon he's like 25, 26 stone. He's a big.
We were having this conversation yesterday, weren't we?
Yes. On the scales now.
Well, they actually call him Tiny, Johnny.
Really? Wow. I've not said that to his face.
18 stone 1 pound.
18 stone 1 Williams. So let's see.
Introducing his opponents, please welcome
Here we go.
the Midnight Monster, Hosea Stewart.
I mean, there's no getting away from it. He's a solid guy, isn't he? But
Midnight Monster weighed in at 24 stone.
Oh, he was selling the truth.
24 stone, there you
It's
go.
gonna be 26 and more. And he's probably dropped weight as well. You know what? If he's got movement with that size, he'll be a handful.
How much experience will he have got sparring the likes of AJ?
Oh my goodness, yeah, massive experience. Because remember, when he's in training camp, he's not just sparring with AJ. There's other sparring partners there, big guys there that'll keep him on the move. So I think, you know, you think to yourself, I've done well here. So, you know what, and that's a bit of a confidence booster. That's how I got confidence, sparring with a lot of the top guys thinking I've held my own.
How many problems will Williams get him to think? How many problems will Williams give him?
Williams has got to try and. I wouldn't try and back him up. I'd try and box him, make him use his legs, make him use his movement. You know, it's only 4 rounds, so he's got to box like the amateurs. Tip tap tip, move away, tip tap tip, big shots in. Don't try and stand there toe to toe with him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the super welterweight division. Please welcome first in the scales, Erica Alvarez.
So 6 2-minute rounds at super welterweight in this one between Georgia O'Connor and Erica Alvarez. Georgia very young, 22, just 1-0. This is a second pro outing since beating Esther Connection in a debut on Sky. A very good amateur background though comes with her.
Very good amateur, get back down. She's getting in with Alvarez at 10 stone 12 pounds. She's 31 years old from Argentina. 7 fights, 2 wins, no knockout, 5 losses. She's boxed 32 rounds, so she has obviously that ring experience. O'Connor gets in 1-0, not a knockout, it's a 6-rounder. Her debut was back in October. Again, this is about the development of a young lady.
Here she goes.
Again, she looks innocent like an angel until she puts the gloves on, and then it's hellfire for whoever stood in front of her.
At 10 stone, 13 pounds and 8 ounces.
Georgia's kind of one of those people that no matter what she turns her hand to, she does extremely well, whether that's music, sport, anything. She's just all round. So one of those very talented people.
Yeah, you've got a brain that can just adapt to most things that are in and around you, and that's actually a talent that is not seen or admired or given credit for.
Alvarez hasn't been stopped, but she should last the distance. Will O'Connor get some rounds, do you think, tomorrow evening?
She needs to get rounds in, because obviously she wants to get to a stage where there's no point in getting there with people and stopping them, getting them out of the way. Get the rounds in, because when the stakes are higher, you want to be rounded, be able to hit, be able to punch, be able to have a gut check.
Bit of respect there.
Be a nice family affair here with the gym mates as well. You hear them, you see them all hanging out together.
Cruiserweight division, please welcome to the scales, Eddie Kadrija.
So your old division, Johnny, 6 rounds at cruiserweight between Michael Webster and Eddie Kadrija. What are you looking for in this?
He's into his 7th fight, Webster, so Webster needs to just, again...
It's coming along nicely, isn't it?
Coming along nicely. He's 29 years old.
And 4 pounds.
Fighting on the cruiserweight
Limit.
championship weight at least.
Michael Webster.
Webster, all good-looking tan fella. So he's going to have a little bit more to add to his boxing charm.
Been a bit unlucky so far with opponents dropping out. So I guess he's looking to get a bit of momentum as well.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard for fighters because, one, you want to fight. Two, when your opponent drops out, it's hard.
It's out of your control, isn't it?
It's out of your control. And you still got to keep your game face on, keep your head on the game and think, right, now we're in, now I'm on. So it is hard for fighters. Let's see the size difference between these two here. Webster's in at 6'6". Can't judge if I've said that right. I reckon he's about 6'2".
It's nice to see a bit of respect between the two, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like that, but I don't want it to be too friendly.
It is business at the end of the day.
After the fight's over, then let's be nice.
Bit of a size difference, Johnny.
So again, when you see a taller fighter, you're not used to the taller fighters being successful working on the inside. So if Webster can fight well on the inside as well as box long, that's good. That's a good thing.
We move to the super flyweight division. Please welcome first to the scales, Gemma Ruiz.
4 2-minute rounds at super flyweight between Chloe Watson and Gemma Ruiz. Chloe is 22, unbeaten, 1 win. She's with Wasserman as part of Team G, so a good background that comes with it.
Good background. You know what? I see the women fight. I want them to shorten the difference between the fights, to make them 3-minute rounds instead of having these 2-minute rounds. I don't like them. I never liked them when I boxed.
You know what, Johnny? No matter who you seem to speak to from the female code, they don't mind. They'll happily fight those 3-minute rounds.
But you know, actually, to me, it's easier boxing the 3-minute rounds because if the 2-minute rounds, it's 2 minutes of madness in and out. Anybody can win that. If you've got pace and you've got movement, anybody can win that. 3 rounds drags it down to skill, especially as the rounds roll on. I want to see that difference eradicated where everybody's doing 3-minute rounds, male and female.
This is a conversation that we could talk about for a long time because it opens up the debate. At the moment, it's explosive. It's exciting to watch. 2 minutes, 3 minutes could open up to more knockouts. You know, there's a lot to discuss in that.
I wonder what the likes of Natasha and Savannah think about that.
Happily fight 3-minute rounds. Tasha would said she'll happily do it.
Yeah,
They train with 3-minute rounds anyway.
Here in Newcastle. And of course, a big thank you to our sponsors, Bet365, Village Hotels, and Version 2. We introduce...
But what a time, though, to be a female fighter, huh? Women's boxing is flying.
And Watson, she's called the mini Ricky Hatton. That's what they call herself at call in the gym. So I think that's a mark of time. She knocks all of the way, but I bet she's a pocket rocket.
It's going to be a good one to watch tomorrow night, Johnny.
Yes, I do. I'm looking forward to this one. Listen, the whole show reminds me of actually being in a position to where you've not come from an illustrious amateur career, but you've been given an opportunity to flourish as a professional.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, without a doubt. Lee Connolly gets on the scales, 34 years old, 86 fights, 8 wins out of those 86 fights. 72 losses, 6 draws. Debut was 2012. This is a super lightweight contest. Four rounds of it.
Lee Connolly weighed in at 10 stone and 8 ounces.
But for Luke Cope, so far unbeaten, so far so good. It is 3 out of 3 for him.
You can always usually tell when a fighter gets on and he's smart, he's tanned, his hair's cut. Nice set of underpants, he's thinking, this is the beginning, I'm going to make a career out of this. You can usually tell, how they jump on the scale. So Cope, 24 years old, 3-0.
Son of renowned trainer Peter Cope. Has been out of action though since 2019.
Yeah, and
so it'll be looking to get, I guess, a bit of momentum, the wheels in motion again.
And when we talk about fights being out of action, I hope it's just public action, but they still be training. Now, if they've not been training, not been in the gym, then that's their fault. That's their issue, and that's something that's fundamentally wrong with them. They need to be in the gym ticking over. But if fights fall through, it's unfortunate. There's nothing you can do about it, and it can affect some fights' careers.
What would someone like Luke be looking to get out tomorrow night?
I think you want to get the rounds out again, catch people's eye,
Shake off a bit of ring rust.
shake off the ring rust. No point in going in after waiting so long and knocking them out in 30 seconds.
But that's always the danger, isn't it? When you've been out for a while, you want to impress, don't you? You want to sort of get your name back in the mix, so you've got to be patient.
Yeah, you've got to be patient. Don't try too hard. Depend on the skills what you have.
To the super welterweight division, please welcome first to the scales, Esther Konechna.
Konechna, 34 years old, 16 fights, 1 win, no KOs, 14 losses and 1 draw. She's boxed 90 rounds. Her debut is in 2015. Got on the scales in the tracksuit.
Weighted officially at 11 stone, 1 pound and 8 ounces. And now introducing, fighting out of walls, and ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for April Hunter.
Well, we know how good a friend April is with Savannah. You see them everywhere together.
I like April. I like her her naivety. I like her appetite for this game. She wants to fight. She wants to have fun, and she's a team player. When you see her with Savannah and all the squad, she's like the light of the team. I've got a lot to give her.
Lost to Babington. She's looking to rebuild a bit, isn't she?
Yeah, she was gutted from the loss, and but again, she's back in the mix again.
She's okay at that stage in your career. When you know you've taken a step too far, just taking a step back and regroup.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, sometimes it breaks them. You think, oh God, I've just lost. That's me done. So she's just back in again. Go back, fix it. Go back to the drawing board. She's back in the mix.
Contest between the Czech Republican Esther Konechna and actually fighting.
April, I'm sure, will be looking to fight, get the win if she can, and then get back out to watch her mate Savannah.
If I was April, I'd say, look, speak to the promoter and say, look, get me out, get me a date tonight, tell me when I'm fighting again, give me something to look forward to.
And now right here in Newcastle Metro Center, we bring you a middleweight contest. Please welcome to the scales, fighting out of Namibia, introducing Lucas Ndafuloma.
8 rounds middleweight then, Brad Ray, Lucas Ndafuloma. Lucas yesterday was going around like a little tourist, wasn't he? He just wanted to have pictures with everything.
And great, he's got in. You remember he's been introduced to these shows before. He beat Craig Cunningham. Very confident, expects to turn a fight over. Brad Ray, he's one that people are looking out for.
We've seen him in some terrific fights, haven't we?
Yeah, terrific fights, 12-0, 5 knockouts, box 42 rounds, tall at the weight, and very, very confident, has ambition.
Well, he goes into this fight off the back of that savage knockout over Craig McCarthy. That was on the Calm Brook undercard. Almost stole the show.
Yeah, almost stole the show. That's what I'm saying. It was there's certain fights that catch your eye, and there's something about it you think they just need nurturing. You nurture them and bring them through. Wow. And Brad Ray, there's a lot of talk about it.
I mean, he's undefeated, he's 23. It's one of those things that you keep going in the manner that he is. People are really starting to sort of stand up, take notice, know his name.
He's got a very relaxed vibe about him in front of the cameras, when the microphones come in, he's very articulate. And this, how he talks, you know, this isn't where he is. You know, there's a lot more further in his career that he wants to achieve.
In terms of the path he's on, is he being moved quick enough, do you think? What should be his goal? What, British title, something like that?
Yeah, without a doubt. British title, that's what he's wanting. He's doing an 8-rounder now, so they're kind of preparing him for that. You know, and
going the right way.
Going the right way and making sure every fight's developing him in some way, somehow.
now we bring you a contest in the super middleweight division.
I think he certainly caused Ben Shalom a few problems anyway in matchmaking.
Ben Shalom's going to be grey and bald within the next 3 years, so he doesn't realise that.
So we turn our attention to the light heavyweight division, and 6 rounds at light heavyweight between Zach Chelly and Jack Kilgannon. Zach Chelly, of course, was due to fight last week. That was pulled, but he's back on this week, which is good to see. I've really enjoyed Zach Chelly at the press conferences. He speaks so well.
This is his 3rd opponent in a week. And I feel for the young man. He's a teacher, and I know his dad. His dad used to train at our gym in 1992, and Zach said, I don't want to work. I'm a school teacher, but kids hanging off me every day. I want to fight. That's what I want to do for a living. He comes up, 3-piece suit, looks the part, but he's very honest and direct. I don't want to work. I want to fight for a living.
Tried it, didn't like it, and that's the motivation, isn't it, to make this work.
So it's a great story for people to attach to, but he's got brains as well, so he understands he's got something to fall back on.
What do you like about him?
I like he's articulate, he understands what he wants, he's very honest in why he's doing what he's doing.
He can box and he can certainly hit as well.
He can hit, he can box, he's 12 fights, 10 wins, 5 KOs, boxed 60 rounds. His debut was way back in 2017. So I'm trained by his dad.
And of course he's in a division, the light heavy division, that is thriving, particularly domestically, isn't it? I mean, we were having conversations over dinner last night about who we think, who's the best light heavy and how exciting that division is. There's a lot of good fights out there for him should he get to that level.
If you're a light heavyweight in the UK, in the top 5, even top 10, the opportunities that are there for you are mad domestically alone. Never mind beyond that on the European circuit.
This is 10 rounds of welterweight action for the IBF International Championship. Please welcome the challenger to the scales. From Wales, introducing Chris Jenkins.
I am very much looking forward to this encounter. 10 rounds at welterweight. Florian Marku versus Chris Jenkins. This has the potential to be a really exciting fight, Johnny.
Yes, it does. And I've got a little bit of stick for saying this, but I think if there's going to be a banana skin tomorrow night, it's this one for Marku.
How dangerous is it for him, do you think?
Listen, it's not career-ending because he's still green, he's still coming through. But Marku's only had 11 fights, but he's going in there with someone that's been there, has that boxing experience, that boxing talent about him. Even though he might be a bit more shot wall. But Marku has shown he's got brawn. Now he's got to show he's got brains. So if you can mix the two and beat Jenkins and beat him comfortably, then he has to get the respect of everybody surrounding him and just say, look, I'm not just a gimmick, I can actually fight.
That's the thing, isn't it? We know he's a fan favourite, Florian Marku. He's a big ticket seller. He can box, but he has his critics. And I think tomorrow night, you get the impression that he wants to use that opportunity to silence them.
Yeah, and that's what because of his background, he's come from that mixed martial arts background, and it's very hard to get that respect within our boxing world. But
10 stone 6 8 ounces for Florian Marku.
His fitness, especially people who come from mixed martial arts, will never ever be questioned. And if he's struggling, that is what will get him through tomorrow night against Jenkins. Jenkins is a lot more shot worn than Marku is, and if he's not fit, he's 33 years old, he's not fit, he's going to be found wanting towards it. It's a 10-rounder at welterweight. So therefore, we'll just wait and see. I'm curious to see how this comes to look down.
Don't forget, Jenkins is also going into this, full of confidence of that win over Julius Ndongo. So he's got that on his side.
Yeah, and Gary Lockett is no fool. He's put his man in there because he expects his man to be able to pull this win off. On paper, he should be able to.
Chris Jenkins and the champion.
Well, that got a bit tasty.
Marcus just wants to rattle, get under his skin. He wants to know he's there.
That's his style, though, isn't it? That's Marku's style.
What was with Marku is if he came to have a fight with him, that's what he wants. If someone can outbox you, you want to get him so angry that he gets in your face and he wants to bash you. And that you give a man, then he's giving the man a chance to should have one. That's the best thing to do. Rattle him somehow. Jenkins
Jenkins has quite a sort of simplistic view on this fight. I just bumped into him just before we came on air today. And it's not rocket science for him. He's like, hit more than I get hit. And if I get in a fight, I get in a fight.
And that, you know, when you've got the experience, you think this kind of stuff won't actually intimidate, it won't actually get to you. You're simplifying your head and think, right, this is the job I've got to do.
Your main event for tomorrow evening. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. WBO Middleweight Championship action. First, let's introduce the challenger, the former WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Femke Hermans.
So our main event weigh-in, 10 2-minute rounds at middleweight for the WBO middleweight title between Savannah Marshall and Femke Hermans. Johnny, the one we've all been waiting.
Yeah, Femke Hermans gets on, 32 years old, 15 fights, 12 wins, 5 knockouts, current European champion, former WBO super middleweight champion. So she's worn the t-shirt. She's been in with the opponent. So is it a test? We'll see how much of a test Savannah makes it. Hermans a decent opponent in regards to her next step. Savannah's next step might be a benchmark in regards to how she deals with her.
11 stone, 4 pounds and 8 ounces for Hermans. Let's see how Savannah looks. We saw her nip on the scales, didn't we, before we came on, and Savannah, she's looking good.
She looks like a unit. 30 years old, 11 fights, 9 knockouts. She looks like she's one of the biggest female punchers out there. And she's actually a better boxer than she's a puncher. And I love that.
Let's see how she weighs in.
The undefeated Savannah Marshall, your reigning champion, weighed in at 11 stone and 5 pounds.
11 stone 5 for Savannah. As we thought, looks good.
Hey, she's very good at 5'11" against Hermans, who's 5'8". When you see them stand face to face, you'll see the advantages that Savannah should have, what she has over most of her opponents. But she doesn't squander that. She makes the most of it, makes the most of a reach, a movement, a high. She doesn't dip into the fight. She'll only do it if she has to. And she's happy to stand there toe-to-toe with you and have a tear up. But she can switch it quick and turn that professionalism where she steps off, starts the box, shoots the jab, bring the shots up if you're ducking down into them, pushing if you need pushing back, push you off balance. And she's ticked so many boxes in regards to her development. You can ask for anything more.
What do you think we're going to get tomorrow night? She's headlining, Johnny. Clarissa's ringside. What do you think we're going to get? Are we going to get a statement from Savannah?
I think we are. I think Savannah will, in my opinion, I think Savannah stops her. Hermans is strong, and I mean, she wears her down. I'd be very surprised if she knocks her out with one shot, but I think she wears her down and breaks her down.
WBO middleweight champion of the world, Savannah Marshall.
I think it's just brilliant to see how much Savannah's grown, isn't it? Embracing the occasion. And like yesterday, I said to her, are you looking forward to it? She's like, yeah, I'm excited. I am looking forward to it, you know?
Which is a good thing because... which is a good thing because she's comfortable in her own shoes. She's comfortable in all this environment. It's a good thing because she wants to fight. She wants people to see how good she is, where before she shy away from that. Her best performances were when nobody was around, but now she's turned it around.
And we know when fights are up here in the northeast, I mean, when we've been at the Utility Arena before, it is such a great atmosphere, and I think Savannah will feed off that. Do you agree?
Yes, and she's at home. She's at home and she said, right, this is the last time you saw me. Now look at me. I'm world champion. Look how good I am and look how I deal with my opponent and everything else attached to it. So it's not just about her performance when the bell goes. When that's gone, depends on how she dispatches Hermans. It's a case of how she deals with it afterwards, how she deals with the press side of it. Here she is.
Here she is. Come and stand in the middle. How are you feeling, Savannah? I mean, you look great on the scales. Very, very strong. Are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I've had a tough camp. It's been grueling, and the results will show on Saturday.
Well, Johnny's been singing your praises because obviously, well, he's known you how many years now? What, 8 years, 10 years?
Yeah, about 10 years.
Long time. We were just talking about how much you've grown, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring. Are you feeling that? Are you noticing the change?
Oh yeah, I'm a woman now. I'm not a kid anymore, Johnny. I'm a woman.
What's changed for you? Like, when I asked you yesterday, I said you're looking forward to it, and you were like, yeah, I am. You seem to genuinely be enjoying the occasion and not letting it overawe you.
I've just learned that it's all part and parcel of it. You can't. What's the point in putting all the training in and working hard if you can't show people your skills?
How are you feeling that, I mean, we're to blame as well. We're talking a lot about, I can see her in my eye, the potential fight with Clarissa Shields, your mega fight that is on that horizon should you come through Femke. How are you feeling about everyone talking about that? Are you all eyes on Femke?
Like I said yesterday, that everyone's always talked about Clarissa the past 4 or 5 years, so it's nothing new for me, really.
What are you looking to do on Saturday? Are you looking to send a statement to Clarissa that's going to be ringside?
Nah, not at all. I don't box for Clarissa. I box for myself.
That's a good answer, isn't it? That is a...
Don't box to impress her.
What are we going to see?
Femke is a tough opponent. Like I said, I've trained hard. I've done 2 camps on Femke because we went to box this time last year, so I'm looking to put on a good performance and get a good win.
In terms of your relationship with Peter, we was talking about it, how sort of special it is between the two of you. It seems to really work. Neither of you, I think, is it fair to say, you're neither big talkers, are you? How does it work?
I was just saying, both of us don't talk much, so there's not much conversation.
Interesting training.
But he's definitely... He's smart, Peter. He's very smart. He knows his psychology, put it that way.
And didn't he say to you, I think we had the conversation a while ago, that pretty much predicting everywhere that you'd be in your career has come to fruition? It's come at the exact same time, what he's predicted and what he's...
100%. I remember him saying to me when I first started training with him, I hadn't boxed yet, and I remember him saying, oh, you know, you want to be looking for a world title, about 9 or 10 fights. And at the time, I remember thinking, oh, whatever, Peter. And when these women boxing, you know, you have the likes of Katie boxing for a world title, 4 fights in, 10 fights down the line. I want to be boxing for a world title before then, and he was right. On my 9th fight, I boxed Hannah Rankin for a world title.
He's not just a trainer, is he? He's like Mystic Meg.
He's a sidekick. I say on a night he goes back to his trailer, puts over his veil with his crystal ball. He reads palms and tarot cards.
What a vision, hey? You can see that, but it is a special.
It is a special one, and I like that. I get that. You know, if you've got that with your coach, it's trust. It's everything. You know, it's being a mentor, being a friend, being there when you're up as well as down, and just putting everything into perspective. And I think that's what they both got.
It's been a good turnout today, isn't it? A bit of a taste of what we're expecting tomorrow night at the Utilita. And Johnny and I were just saying about the atmosphere is always good in there. How much are you looking forward to that?
Oh, if it's anything like last October, it'll be amazing.
Have you got a message to anyone that's coming tonight and what they're going to see?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's bought tickets. I know it's not a cheap night out, but I really appreciate it, and I look forward to showing you my skills on Saturday.
It's not a cheap night, but it's going to be a good night, and it's worth every single penny. Best of luck, Savannah. Yeah, good luck. Looking forward to it. Cheers. Just taking it all in a stride now, isn't she?
I've seen them all go.
Is it making you feel old?
Yeah, no, one in, one out.
Good to see you. Savannah out, you're in. How are you feeling? Have you just landed?
Yeah, probably about an hour ago. Yeah.
How's the jet lag?
I don't have none.
None at all.
No, not right now. Maybe it hit me later.
How much are you looking forward to tomorrow night? You're going to be with us. You're going to be working with us at Sky Sports on Saturday night. Of course, watching Savannah take centre stage. We all know it's eyes on your super fight that's set up, hopefully, for the summer. What are you expecting tomorrow night?
I'm hoping she wins. That's the fight that I want. That's why I'm here. There's no other reason why I would be here. She made weight. I hope she rehydrates, because the fight that everybody want to see is me versus her. And the 160 division is my division, you know, so I'm going to go ahead and send her back to 168 in the summer. But I look forward to fighting her, especially fighting her here. You know, I won the Olympics in 2012, and I just like fighting here.
You had a taste of it in Cardiff, didn't you?
Yeah. Cardiff was nice. Cardiff was good fun. They were lit. Yeah.
And it's going to be absolutely jumping, isn't it, in Newcastle tomorrow night? You'll get to see that as well. You've actually been in with Femke Hermans. What's she like?
She's like awkward, you know what I mean? She's very, very awkward. She's a sturdy fighter. But we fought 2-3 years ago. And back then also too, I had 2 fights 3 weeks apart. So I fought against, I believe, Hannah Rankin first, and then I fought against Femke. I don't know which one came first, but I know I fought 3 weeks at a time. It was like December 8th and then November 7th. So it was like 3 weeks. And I just remember going 20 rounds in less than a month of boxing, but they offered me the fight, and I was in shape to go. I had no injuries in both fights, so we took it. But she was a sturdy fighter, and just awkward from what I remember. Like, she kind of like, sometimes would throw an elbow, sometimes would throw a head, but not on purpose, but just how she moves. It was very, very awkward. I had to protect myself, because it was like I wasn't so much worried about her hands. It was more of like other body parts. Like, she elbowed me a couple times and even headbutted me a few times when we fought.
So how many problems do you think she'll give Savannah tomorrow night? How tough a test is she?
I don't know. You know, I think styles make fights. I don't know as far as in like the size or like the styles. I don't really watch Savannah Marshall fight. And then Femke, I don't really watch her fight either. I've just been in the ring with both of them. But I think they're both going to want to be long, I guess, and try to box each other. But I don't know. I think that Femke is more of a slugger, and maybe they'll slug it out for a bit. And she likes to keep herself open, so I think Marshall should catch her and hopefully put her out so we can get to the fight in the summer.
Get it on. I mean, I think the thing that we're all kind of excited to see, the last time that you came face to face with Savannah in Cardiff, it got a little bit heated, it got a little bit tasty.
Sure.
Can we expect more of that on Saturday night? Are you there to try and get in Savannah's head a little bit?
I don't got to get in her head. I'm the better fighter. I'm a 3-time division world champion, 12-time world champ, 2-time Olympic champion. I don't have to do that. You know, I think that what she did was classless. You know, for me to train so hard to win my fight, to come over here to her home turf and actually step toward the fight, toward us, it should be more gratitude, because I don't have to fight her. It's plenty of girls who are ahead of Savannah Marshall who I could fight. But it's the biggest grudge match in women's boxing, and I look forward to having it. But is she deserving of the fight? Sure. She wouldn't even have the belt if I didn't fight at 154 for the undisputed title. So, am I going to be disrespectful like that? I don't know, but I am here to sell a fight. That's all I'll say. I'm here to sell a fight.
Like you just said, it could be the biggest grudge match in women's boxing, and that is because Savannah is the only person to beat you as an amateur or pro. Is that something that, I've asked you this before, and I'll see if I get a different answer, is that something that has bugged you? Is that something that you want to sort of right that wrong?
I righted it already. I righted it 3 months later when I won the Olympics in our home country. And then I righted it again when I won the Olympics again. The thing is, the only thing that bothers me with her is that she said that everything I've done, that I wouldn't have done it in the pros if she was given the chance to. We all get to pick who we want to fight. If she would have picked to fight against those girls that were knockout artists and Christina Hammers and the Hannah Gabriels of the world, who would she be? But her whole claim to fame is beating me when I was 17 years old. It's kind of whack. But at the same time, I mean, I beat a whole lot of girls in the amateurs, and I don't be yelling their name all the time.
I'm probably stirring the pot here, but a lot of people are saying that Savannah is probably the biggest puncher in the women's code. What's your reaction to that?
We can all be the biggest punchers in our division if we fight 3 days, 3-day notice opponents and weeks notice opponents and fight against smaller opponents. Our last opponent was a 147-pounder who came up to 160. Even though she had a good record, she wasn't a 160-pounder, and she was found at a week's notice. We gotta keep it real. Like, I'm not saying she's a bad fighter. I'm just saying that I have fought against better competition. Girls have had weeks and weeks to get ready for me, and I've still been able to come out and dominate.
It is a fight, Johnny, that, well, we all want to see. Obviously, Savannah's got to get through Femke on Saturday night. Can you just put into context for everyone at home how big that fight would be?
Well, Clarissa's probably one of the most famous women fighters currently active right now. So Clarissa is the one that everybody knows about. Now here in the UK, we all know about Savannah. We all know what Savannah's capable of doing. We know now stateside. Savannah. Do they know as much? I don't know. They know Clarissa. So when these two fight, this will give the winner notoriety all over the world. All the fans will think, right, you know what, it's only ever going to be one of those grudge match fights. When it comes to the female code, this is that fight. because you've got one fighter that's developed under the radar, and one fighter that's developed in front of the camera. She's loud, she's brash, she's heavy, everything she wants to do, and done it. To me, it's a great union of fighters. It's a great unit, and be a great fight as well.
And in terms of the women's sport as well, I mean, we've got the likes of Taylor Serrano as well, and then if yours happens as well, it is awesome for the sport.
The only way that me and Savannah Marshall fight won't happen is if she lose. Only way. So that's why I'm here. I'm going to be cheering for her. I want you to win. I'm not a hater. She's a hater on me because of how great I am. I'm not a hater on her. I want her to win, and I want to put this whole thing to rest. Any girl think that she can beat me, I'm going to put it to the test, and that's why I'm here.
Do you know what? We're so lucky to have you here. We're looking forward to having you ringside with us on Saturday. And thank you for coming in as well. You've literally just landed and she's come here. Exactly. I mean, that is dedication to the cause, isn't it? Good to see you, Clarissa, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you guys for having me.
No problem. I think in a minute, Peter Fury is going to step in. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Am I still here?
You're not. You're done. You can go and get a coffee. Walks off that way. I mean, gets off the flight, comes straight here. You can't ask for more than that, can you?
Tears the script up. Look us in. I love you, man.
How you doing, Peter?
Too bad. All right.
Yeah, it's been a good turnout so far. And Savannah, we were saying, looks so relaxed, enjoying the occasion, and she looks good. How ready is she?
Yeah, she's more than ready. We just more than anything is just getting this fight out the way. But like I said, she's not took anything for granted. She's trained hard for Femke Hermans, whatever her name is. So it's good. Femke Hermans. So yeah, she's ready.
There is a danger. I mean, like you just said there, she just wants to get this one out of the way because we've just seen Clarissa here. It is all eyes on that super fight with Clarissa Shields. Is there a danger that she could take her eye of the ball? Johnny doesn't think so, but is there?
No, he's right. You know, listen, I don't underestimate.
It's always a first, Peter.
I don't underestimate anybody. So no, she's super confident. She'll go about her job, and she'll go and dissect the opponent. That's it. And she's hitting harder than ever before. She's in fantastic shape, and she'll struggle to go the distance, this girl. And I know she's never been stopped.
What's she been working on in training? I mean, if you're saying she's hitting harder than ever before, she's been building on her strength?
Well, not just that. It comes over time. That super relaxedness, delivering the shot, getting the accuracy at the end of the punch, turning it at the right time. All these type of things add to the power. You know that. So all these type of things. And she's been working a lot on her inside game as well, not just long range. So she's phenomenal at short distance. So looking forward to seeing that with Savannah as well.
With Clarissa being ringside, what kind of performance are we going to see? Obviously, Savannah's headlining as well in the Northeast, in her home. What are we going to see, do you think? Are we going to see an explosive statement?
I definitely think so. I've gone through it with Savannah, and I told her, I said, you're a world champion now. I said, and all this comes with it. I said, just peel the pressure off. It doesn't matter. Don't get thinking you got to overperform and trying to impress Clarissa and all this. I said, drown that out. You've got a job to do. Concentrate on your opponent in the ring. And that's all we're interested in doing here today.
That seems to be working with her. She seems to be able to do that, doesn't she?
I think she's adopted that no-nonsense attitude, and you see where she gets it from. Deal what's in front of you. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Get the job done. Again, it comes to tomorrow night's fight. It's a bigger deal to us than it is to Peter and Savannah, because they know what they're capable of doing. So this is the job in hand, and then deal with your Clarissas afterwards, concentrate on afterwards, and how Savannah handled that the conversation alone and the press conference alone. And she's mature enough and smart enough to know, you know what, as long as I do my job, I expect success, and that's how she wants to think.
What are the danger zones for Femke, though, in terms of Savannah? Where do you see her strengths?
To be honest, I'm not really seeing any strengths. So I'm not being funny by that. She's a kickboxer, and she's still got that similar kickboxer style. She's durable, she's good, but this is elite level. So there's being good and being elite level. Savannah's elite level, and you'll show it tomorrow.
I love how relaxed they both are. It's great to see. And
I'll tell you how I see things, that's it.
No, apparently, and according to Savannah, you see things pretty well. Apparently you're a bit of a mystic Meg as well. Everything in her career you've predicted at every stage.
Well, crystal ball might be in the back room. You never know, do you?
Oh gosh, that could get dangerous, Johnny. We don't want to see that. Best of luck, Peter. Thank you for talking to us, and good to see you.
Thanks, Peter. See you later.
Says it how it is.
one in, one out. I like everything about it. He says how it is. He doesn't get too giddy and excited, doesn't get emotionally too involved in the stuff that we probably try and G up. He knows what Savannah's capable of doing, and he has probably one of the biggest punches on his hands. He probably has the best female fighter on his hands. And he knows that. So it's a case for us to shout that from the rooftops.
Hello, Benjalom.
A lot of that's down to him. I speak to Savannah, and if you'll remember Savannah when she first started her career, she was very quiet, very unassuming, not a lot of the confidence even to get in the ring. And Peter's just brought that out of her, and I think he spotted a superstar from very early on. And you can see Savannah every time she fights now. She's grown in stature. She knows that she's comfortable headlining shows.
She seems mature, doesn't she?
Yeah, really mature, and feeling like a superstar, which is always important. She's always had the ability, and now I think she realises what's coming.
I think what she was saying about Clarissa being here at the moment, doesn't seem to bother her, doesn't seem to faze her, and that's key for Savannah, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been surprised with her. Every time she's asked about Clarissa, she's very comfortable to talk about it, very comfortable to sort of have a back and forth. And even leading up to the fight night, she's cool, she's calm. I think, as I say, Peter Fury has imposed himself on her, and she feels like she can deal with anything now. And she's supremely confident. She thinks Clarissa is just another fight, and she'll just keep walking through them. But yeah, it's really exciting because everyone knows what Clarissa is, everyone knows what personality she is, and now Savannah's becoming one as well, and it's two superstars that hopefully will meet very soon.
But we're all talking about that. Savannah's got to come through Femke Hermans, and it's not an easy night for her by any means.
No, Femke is obviously previous world champion. She's fought the very best. She took Clarissa the distance. And if you speak to Femke, she's been preparing this fight 2-3 times. Almost, I think they were supposed to fight 12 months ago. So she knows this is her opportunity, probably her last big opportunity to upset the apple cart, to become world champion. And she seems confident as well. And I think that's why Savannah needs to really stay on her toes, because it's going to be a difficult night.
It's going to be a difficult night, but it's going to be a good night. We're excited to be up here in Newcastle again. Always produces a terrific night of action. How much are you looking forward to?
Yeah, last time we were here, it was biggest crowd to date so far. That card was huge. It had Chris Eubank Jr. on, Hughie Fury on. And people said to me then, are you sure Savannah Marshall headlining a show? Not one question this time. This card actually has a lot of our stable that aren't actually from Newcastle, and it's still sold well. And I think that's the star that she's become here. She's got a great reception here today. Tickets are sold really well, and that's all on the back of Savannah. So, yeah, great to be back in Newcastle, but great for them to have a star like Savannah as well.
Definitely. I think the turnout today is indicative of how much of a star Savannah's become.
People are curious to see, is she the real deal? Now she's more or less on her own doorstep as a world champion. With the likes of Clarissa here, and the fans actually saw the last fight. They saw what happened after the last fight, so they're thinking, you know what, we're coming to back Savannah to say, you know, you've got us behind you. That is a big fight that they're looking forward to. So all the fans and everybody else like us, we're all getting giddy excited about the Clarissa Shields fight, and forgetting, you know, she has a fight on her hands on Saturday night. She needs to get that job done first, otherwise that dream's done. I expect her to do it because she is, in my opinion, probably one of the best, if not the best, female fighter in the world today.
Also, there's not many women boxers so far that have been able to headline shows and sell tickets like Savannah has, actually have a following. We've had elite women in the sport, but have we had the fans buy into it? Have we had the crowds? Have we had, even with Katie Taylor, how many times did she actually headline? And I'm not taking anything away, I'm just saying this is a unique thing with Savannah. She's bringing crowds in. You know, we saw it with the football, in the women's football, where they sold out the new camp, and it was amazing, it was incredible. Savannah's doing that in boxing. Clarissa's coming over to Newcastle for that fight because Savannah brings the crowds, and she's growing the sport, and it's exciting to be a part of, and I think the fans are as excited about this as any other world title fight that they come and see.
And it's by no means a done deal for Savannah at all. I mean, we've seen some huge, almighty upsets over the last 12-18 months, haven't we? And Savannah can't afford to have that on Saturday night.
No, it'd be a disaster for us. I mean,
you must be quite nervous watching it as well on Saturday, because we all want that super fight to happen.
No, it's been so difficult. 12 months of negotiations, making sure Clarissa signs to us as well, which had to move heaven and earth to do. And this is the fight everyone wants to see. This is the fight the broadcasters are pressuring me for. ESPN wants it. Sky wants it. This is something that will be historic in terms of the eyeballs it will bring to the sport. And that's what makes this a nervy night, because we had to do this fight. If we could have got away with not doing this fight, we wouldn't have done it. We wanted to make that fight, but she's going to have to come through a very top operator. And yeah, it will be nervous. It will be nervous for me. It will be nervous for, I'm sure, you and the rest of the team.
I'm like a father.
You are.
Because I've seen her development, I've seen her grow, I've seen her now start to have the confidence to match her ability. And even now, still, I don't think she's fully there that she believes how good she actually is. And it's not until she gets jobs done like Clarissa that she thinks, I actually can fight and actually good. And I think Peter Fury is the perfect ingredient that she needed to bring the best out of her.
Well, do you know what? It is all set to be a cracking night of action. Thank you, Ben. Good to see you. Thank you, Johnny, as well. That's it. Walking off the wrong way, Ben. First rule of TV, walk left. Talking's done. It is all eyes on the fight night tomorrow night, live from the Utility Arena in Newcastle. Make sure you join us 8 p.m. Sky Sports for all the action. It's going to be good, isn't it?
Wait, are we done?